Hi class, I wanted to give you some video feedback. I'm going to look at these as a first-time site visitor and check out the functionality, the layout, and the work that you have put into this, all right? So I'm going to jump right in. Let's start here. Joseph, it looks like you needed a little more time with this, okay? So this isn't complete. It has some placeholder and so forth. We want a little more contrast here. That probably should have been white. Keep in mind it's a template, so a lot of people will have seen this. Unless this is personal work, then you want to make sure that we don't leave anything there. Okay. We need to be sure we have no overlapping text and images. Close gaps. This needs to be legible. Okay. Close that space, or make sure that this is here, and then close the space. It's a good idea to call this works, since that is works. Let's bring this image up, and again, be very cautious with this background. Bring this up to align with this, and either take this out. You can make it a very low opacity, maybe crop it. This is a little long. It's going to be too long when you get to your mobile for sure. So really, you don't need this much. So go through and delete what you can, edit that so that you only have this much. And remember to break paragraphs up because it's easier for people to read, all right? Okay. Again, we have this repeated image. We don't want to repeat things, even if it were yours. Use only 2 font styles. So if this is your heading style and this is your body copy, that's going to be throughout. Okay. You have another text here, but probably this would be better. At least be consistent. Okay, let's check out the mobile. Okay, this is being cropped. This is we can't view it very well, needs higher contrast. And that needs to be completed on the desktop. You can make edits on the mobile that will not affect the desktop, but if you change things on the desktop, it's going to affect the mobile. Okay, so really what we have here is more about, okay, when they click on contact, that means they can reach you, okay? They're not going to read through more, all right? It's a promise we've made to them that that's what they're going to have when they go there. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing the updates next week, and contact me with any questions. Great start. Okay, Ty, I love that you say production assistant. You actually will get a lot of work with that. We want to remove this background, and you can look at the the troubleshooting video this week, and that will help you with that. But essentially you go into your Wix editor and you're going to go under the fourth icon down, which is your site design, and go to the background and make it a solid color. Okay, and then you'll do that for every page. There is a button in that menu that will allow you to apply it to every page. I think we need to bring this image down a little bit. Yeah, you want to remove that background from everything. And I'm not sure if something is here that's taking a lot of time or if you've just put it all on your home page. Or another page, and it's just, there's a linking issue. Okay, so this is a template image, stock, so take that out. Okay, these are good. They're, you know, look like they might be on a shoot or something. That's good. We need to make sure you're looking at this at 100%. Okay, so things aren't being cropped. Close this gap, and that image is going to come out. Yeah, you want to take this out because it's not doing its job on the other pages. And you need to link up to at least a LinkedIn. And that's where you want to keep all of your career and job information with all the dates, making sure there are no gaps. And so that at some point down the road, someone's going to ask for that, and you'll be able to go there and have it in one place. All right. Let's look at the mobile. Okay. I'm not sure what we're reading more to. So your name and your header needs to go up here. Probably there is navigation here, but it's white, so that would need to be a color. You need to have headings, but again, in your header, you're going to put your name and your service, and it's going to show up on every page when you do that. Okay, you're going to make some edits on your home page to remove those backgrounds. Okay, and again, on a heading that says contact here. And your social. Okay, this is a good sound start. You've got some time to spend on some things, and particularly, you know, where this goes. Okay, because you have your, I'm having to come back over here. I can't get back to the home button. So that's an issue. You want to make sure that that is linked to your home page. This and your content is on your home page. So that's a bit of an issue there. Okay. Double check. There may be something underneath that is linked, but this isn't linked as it should be. Okay, and so this, I would rename that about and delete that because there's nothing there. So go into your pages and menu and rename that about. Okay, you don't have to have a home page, but you know, it needs to link correctly. All right, looking forward to seeing where this goes. It's got some strong aspects to it. Okay. Let's make this wider, possibly not so bold, although it is legible, and that's important. If you make it the width of the image, that would be better. Let's see if that's in your header up here. It is. Okay. I do think you want to make your header not quite so deep. Yes, that makes this smaller, but this is more of an image than a logo. Logos need to be legible when they're a very reduced size, okay? Okay, good. You have that here and here. That's good. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a variety of fonts going on, and you really just want 2. So let's see. And while this is similar, it's not the same. At least it doesn't view as being the same. You know, and it's italicized. Those things matter. Bold, italic, those things are considered differences. Good. So this button probably says submit, so you want to write that in a second color, either red or white. But it's really clear. Make sure that is centered. Okay. Yeah, this is a little deep. That means any page they go to, they'll have to do a lot of scrolling, and they won't. Sometimes they will wonder if they've even changed pages. So close any gaps. And if it's Era 51 Films, put that up there in one of your standard fonts. Sometimes body copy works very well for your navigation menu text and vice versa. So sometimes this text works really well as your body copy. And probably this would be good in this text. It could be bold, but we have quite a few going on. And yeah, you want to make that not quite so deep, but really great job with your work and putting in your asset guides. And everything is operating. A little space under here. You need to close that. That may not be there on yours, depends, but check. Yeah, so you want to land here for your contact. Not quite so much this. All right, great job. I'm excited to see where this goes. It's got some strong design elements. Okay. Tyrell, I like the color, love this color combination with the range of blues, with the, complementary orange. It's working. Nice and clean. Not a lot of change in text. It's good, good, good. Make sure that this is a Google or some other. We may have already spoken about that. Okay, so question is, okay. You need to remove that. Double check your wrapping here because of this big space. Okay. When we say Photoshop, we always have to say Adobe Photoshop. That's just part of copywriting. I'm not sure you need all of these. This is template. Okay, so you don't want that. An accessibility statement will come in handy because you are going to work on that, but this is incomplete. It is in the right place because you don't want a whole page dedicated to it. Again, that's template. You can hide it if you think you're going to use it one day. Probably you can always easily add it, but right now it will confuse your clients. Okay. So the issue here is we don't have a portfolio. We have this and we have this. So what you want to do is link your portfolio so that when you click on it, it comes down to here and shows your work. All right. And the way you're going to do that, if you look at the tutorial under the announcements, week 3, you'll see troubleshooting. And so what you'll do is you'll go into your pages and menu, and under portfolio, you're going to add a link, and you'll make sure that you have, you'll add an anchor, and you'll make sure that that anchor is right here so that when you click on this, it goes right here. That you'll name the anchor portfolio, and it'll be linked when you create it and put it right there. And that's how you fix that. This then would come off because it's not relevant. It's either a portfolio or it's works. You can call that portfolio if you want. You can call this work, but not both, especially when one is incomplete. Okay. Here's where you want to give me a little more information. And whether or not these open, they don't appear to be opening up. You want to give just a little more. For example, what application did you use for this? You want to say that. So it is cover artwork, but it also may be image editing, Adobe Photoshop image edit. This would be, a mobile layout design. And you want to make sure that these are all yours, and you would, maybe describe what it's for. And you would describe briefly maybe what you did for the photo shoot. If it's camera, then and lighting. List the camera. I do prefer that it's just one line. Yeah, I do. But we got to have a little more info. So maybe what you do is when you take this off, maybe you open these down a little bit, this text box, close it up a little at the top, and let's see. You could even make the background a very pale blue if you wanted, or just white, but keeping it discreet still, you would extend this a little bit so you can get the information you need. This isn't linked, so either delete it or link it. Yeah. So you've got, at least 4 or 5 hours of work to do it right. Probably get it done quicker, but it really depends on how comfortable you are. But I would leave at least 5 hours. Set that time aside to work on that. Look at the mobile. Okay, you're going to want to work on that layout, right? This is all good. Good, good, good. Close that up a bit. See what you want to do there. You're going to have a little more content explanation. You don't even have to have a box if you want to put white text or something, but probably the box is good. Take that out. Check that. Remove those. And that. All right. That's going to be gone when you remove it on your desktop. Take this template image out. And make sure that you're carrying over. Like if we look at your Instagram, make sure, it's probably going to make me, that you're carrying that orange over. All right? And anything else that relates, text, any logo mark. Okay, good job. Okay, so we need to have the get feedback link for this so I can look at the mobile. The background image has to be removed. Again, you want to look at the troubleshooting video, and you go into your Wix editor, and the fourth icon down is your site design, and then go into the background, select a solid color. Okay, and then you can apply it to every page on that same menu. We have to take this out. I know it looks great, but you don't own it, and as a cinematographer, this needs to be your work or plain. Okay, plain works well too, right? Okay, feel like this isn't quite centered. Something's not centered. The image isn't centered, or the title isn't centered, I think. Maybe that. And rename your image to your name. Bring that in a little bit. I know it's going to bring it down. Bring it in just a little. Okay. All right. And ultimately what you're going to do is have more of this. I feel like this might be your work. Don't know. But, or unless it's part of the template. No, it's not that template. When you go into the design, site design, you're going to remove the background from every page. Like I said, there's a button there, and you'll just look at that. Week 3, under announcements, you'll see a troubleshooting video. You want to ultimately, this is a good start, but you'll ultimately make room for your work, okay? So this is okay, showing how you can edit, but as you said, you're a cinematographer. Start putting some little videos together that you film. If you want to do that outside, it's maybe easier with natural lighting. But, you know, even if you take your phone, but you do want to, rather than having, it's okay to use projects from school. I prefer you use your original projects instead of those that were assigned you. So keep that in mind. That's going to be your goal. You might not get to that this week, but that's going to be your goal. And Yeah, you could probably raise this up a little bit. There are some features for contact forms that will give you more options to, let them choose maybe a drop-down menu of skills or what services they're looking for. And you will need to have at least a LinkedIn. Okay. This probably would look better white and in this font style. Okay. I really wish I could look at your mobile. Okay. That's what I really wish. Okay. You'll want definitely to have, this doesn't tell us what your skill set is, what you're using. Okay. So let's go back and looking at your desktop. Yeah. We're missing context. We need to have that asset guide that tells us what you did, what your role was, and ideally the gear, simplified gear that you used. All right. All right, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing your next revisions. And you've learned a lot this week. This is something that you'll be able to return to, and keeping it simple enough so that you can continue to update it with current work. All right. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're submitting next week.